Hey guys, it's Chris you're seeing here back from CNH Smallage again for another informative service review video here. This one will be a commentary only video because of the problem with the machine here. This machine will not start, and it will never start unless it needs a unless you basically put a new engine on the machine here specifically. This machine is a Toro Snowblower, single stage to be precise. This is a smaller, I believe it's a 19, I think it's a 19-inch cutting pad. Let me get the cover again here because I took it off here this morning. Okay, it is a 18-inch width. Sorry about that, guys. My nose is plugged up a little bit right now. It's a 4-stroke overhead valve 18 cutting path right here, also known as the Power Clear 180 with a 87cc engine on it specifically. Okay, the reason why I'm making this video is because the customer originally brought to us here about 3 days ago. He originally claimed the machine was running absolutely perfectly fine in quotation, and I'll tell you specifically why. He told me it was running perfectly fine, and it was leaking gasoline from the carburetor, as he was claiming to me over the phone, and he brought it over here. And he also wanted me to check the oil and do an oil change because he told me the oil has not been changed in quite some time. I asked him, he told me about 4.5 to 5 years. He couldn't tell me an exact time or figure, so we said, okay, no problem, we'll check it out. And we actually got to start over here. However, we initially checked it out and we noticed the actual drain plug underneath here. Let me flip it up here for you so you can see it better. Okay, you have your drain plug right here. This drain plug was, let me see, crank it out. I got it pretty torqued up in there. This drain plug was cockeyed and sitting basically like this on a side angle. It looked like whoever maintained it prior to having us do any service for it did not install the oil dipstick properly into the machine. And also the other thing was there was oil residue and leakage all over the entire frame, all down here on the side, bottom. There was oil all over the place out here, and we initially brought it outside to check it out, and it only had about, I think about 2 ounces of oil actually in the crank down here. So we had to add about, I think about 10 or 11 ounces of oil to the machine because these smaller ones like this one right here, they only require about, I think about 12 to 13 ounces of oil in the actual crankcase for the maximum refill capacity. You do not want to put 20, 25, or 30 ounces of oil in the machine, because if you do, it'll turn the oil into chocolate milk whipping cream basically. So we put new oil back in the machine prior to test starting it. We did see the carburetor was definitely leaking on it. Basically the carburetor was pissing itself. I don't like saying that politely, but that's what it was doing, and it was slowly draining the gasoline out of the machine. So we called the guy up. We told him the machine is going to need a new carburetor on here, plus the oil needed to be changed out a couple more times because the oil that we did drain out here was absolutely coal black, to say it politely. And it looks like it has not been ever changed in as long as the guy actually owned the machine here. And we actually put a new carburetor on there. We took the old carburetor off, put the new carburetor on there, and as soon as we got done doing that, we started up, and it ran perfectly fine for probably about 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the engine starts speeding up and running up around 5,500 RPMs as opposed to around 3,400 RPMs on it, which it was doing originally whenever we originally had started up over here. And apparently the engine probably suffered some kind of catastrophic internal damage, because after it ran for a few seconds after, we ran over and tried to shut it off real quick, and the actual governor probably blew apart in there. And the other thing we noticed was the piston was not going up and down in the actual cylinder bore. So this is a telltale video of why you need to maintain your oil level at the proper level. What probably happened was the engine did not have enough oil in it properly. Like I said before, it only had about 2 or 3 ounces of oil we actually drained out of it, and the max refill capacity is around 12 to 13 right there, and that probably made the engine run extremely hot and work a lot harder than what it actually has to work, and probably damaged the actual bearings, the connecting rod, and it probably also damaged the governor as well too, because if you see some of the governors in some of the other models, especially on some of the Briggs or the Compasses, didn't have a lot of oil in the engine, they start turning funny colors in there because of the heat associated with the machine not running with adequate lubrication right there for that. So anytime you get a job, always maintain the oil level, and especially anytime you get a job in your shop, you must maintain, or I should say, you must verify the machine has plenty of oil in the crank down. If you don't do that, and you start the machine up and you take the customer's word for it, there's a possibility that you may blow up the engine. But that wasn't our case over here. We actually added oil prior to even starting the machine up because we noticed first off there was tons of oil all over the place, and that was like a dead giveaway. The machine was running extremely low, so always look for any kind of oil leakage anywhere prior to starting up the machine, and always maintain the oil level at a safe and adequate level in the actual crankcase prior to starting the machine up. Because if you make one mistake like that, you can possibly have to buy a customer or yourself a new engine for your machine. This case right here, this customer did not want to put the money into the machine to have it actually repaired by us over here, so that's why I was just making a commentary video, because the machine's going to need a new engine, and a new engine costs about, I think, about $240 for one of these machines, and it's simply not going to be cost effective. But you can go out and buy this same brand new machine for probably about $250 right here for that, guys. So that's bad news for the customer right there, because they simply did not maintain the oil level required for sufficient operation out there for that. So I'll give you a shot of the actual model number tag here for you guys. It is a Toro 38282 with the serial number starting with 311028233, and this is an engine made for Toro by the Chinese companies there. I don't know which one exactly it is, but it is a 2012 machine right here for that. And unfortunately, these ones simply do not last if you do not maintain them out there for that. So I'll put it back up here again. Let's give you another shot of the engine on there. Actually, the actual engine's superficial model number right here. This is a Toro Power Clear 1A with the A87cc 4-stroke overhead valve, 18-inch cutting path as well too, guys. So if anybody has any comments, questions about one of these machines like this, just feel free to drop me a message here, and I'll try to get back to you within probably 24 to 48 hours with some kind of a answer to your question, guys. So I'll see you, and have a nice day.